Brothers and sisters, welcome to our today's program, Leo Njoleo of the 7th of November 2018. My name is Don Bulamba. I'm going to share with you, to spend some time with you, talking about the situation, social, economical, political situation of the DRC, Congo Republic Democratic of. Therefore, I would invite you to be with me for the next few minutes so that we can share what has been happening for the last maybe 24 or 48 hours in the Congo. Without taking longer, let me go to our headlines. In Ituri, on Tuesday 6th of November, on the Babila-Kibwanza National Highway number 4, a mother or a woman from the Bahaha village was killed by an elephant on a stroll. In South Kivu, after a war between the two Mai groups in Mushago villages and in Kirinja village, in Lemera Uvira territory, more than 50 houses were set on fire. We also turn around Masisi, where at least 7 people were killed on Monday in clashes between the army of the Nyatura coalition with Rwandan FDLR rebel groups that took place in Bashali, chiefdom in Masisi territory. Straight away to Kamina in Lubumbashi, where on Monday the 5th of November, the coordinator of the platform for Together for Change, Ensemble pour le Changement, Gabriel Kyungwa-Kumwanza, has said that the people of Ensemble pour le Changement or Together for Change are going to participate to the coming elections on the 23rd of December 2018. And finally, the technicians from SADC are in Kinshasa, and they are coming to accompany Ceni in the deployment of electoral kits. So these are the points that I'm going to develop, and at the end of our news, our end of our message, I will just make a small short comment, or some comment, let me say it, for some comment about the whole electoral process. We remain only with 46 days before the elections. Let us go to our details. On Tuesday, 6th of November, on the Babila-Kibwanza Ituri National Way number 4, a woman from Bahaha village was killed by an elephant on a stroll. This elephant is commonly known by the name of Yamado or Sister Mado. This murder has angered the villagers who, on their turn, they went to find the owner of this elephant, Mr. Baudouin Zamotine, and killed him in revenge. The victim here I'm talking about the woman, with her husband, they were on their way to go to their farm. It was around 9 o'clock in the morning, where they met with this elephant Yamado, which attacked them. The husband narrowly escaped. The angry inhabitant of the village attacked Baudouin, calling him, the owner of this animal, and believes that it was his responsibility to take care of this animal. Therefore, Baudouin was kept, beaten up, and then put to death by the villagers. And his body was thrown or was swayed on the National Road Highway number 2. Police and soldiers from Lolwa, which is at 15 kilometers from Bahaha, were deployed to keep the crowd, to control the crowd, which was extremely angry. This elephant Yamado has already killed more than 5 people around the area. It also killed the son of its owner, who was also a chief of another village around, a neighbor village, was also killed by the same elephants. We go to South Kivu, where 50 houses were burnt after a clash between the armed group of the Congo and a group of assailants. However, according to the civilians, they have said that this clash was not between the Congolese armed force, but it was between 2 branches of the Mai Mai militias group. And this took place in the Mushago villages, in Mushago and Kirianja villages in Lemera, Uvira territory, where those 50 houses were burned down. The clashes led to a movement in the inhabitants of this group. Above the market, or above all, the things that you are supposed to know is that those who were fighting, those who are called Mai Mai, those who are called Congolese armed forces with the assailant, are foreigners. They are foreigners who have been living in the highland of Lemera, and they were attacked by the armed group from Burundi. So the army of Burundi crossed the border to come into the Congo and attack those so-called assailant rebels and so on. And I've been talking about this lately, and if you want to know more about it, you should just watch some of my previous videos, some of my previous, programs on a YouTube channel, Leo. So the people of Lemera have been asking for the Congolese army to intervene in order to keep peace and security in this region. Someone has testified to us by saying that those Mai Mai, the assailant, have set fire on houses in those 2 villages. They looted and then they left. Today, as we are talking, those Burundian forces, the Burundian forces, armed forces, who have been calm, and those who have been living in those highlands, have been declaring that they have engaged in this fight because they are coming to deloge, to remove the rebels of FNL from those mountains in the Congo. So that has led the population to be in panic. And because the population is in panic, they don't know what to do, where to go, or where to take refuge. Therefore, some of them were courageous, have been leaving now Lemera, they have been leaving Uvira and trying to cross the border to go to Burundi, where the number of displaced has been increased. And those who remain in Congo, they are trying to find a safe place, and most of them, they are trying to hide themselves under the umbrella of UNHCR as internal displaced. 7 people left dead in the fighting between the army of the Congo and the Nyatura FDLR coalition in Masisi. That happened on Monday, and this clash started with the people that the locals believe they are Rwandan nationals who have been living in the Congo or who have been trying to work in coalition with other groups of rebels, FDLR. And those people have been, troubling the order, have been fighting from time to time in the Bashali chiefdom in Masisi territory. The fighting took place particularly in the localities of Bukombo and Kashugu. Nyaturas and other armed groups are accused by the UN of having committed at least 63% of human rights violations last September in Masisi, Ruchuru, and Beni territories. From here, I will go straight to Lubumbashi, where on Monday, 5th of November, in Kamina, Upper Lomami, during a rally in his residence, Gabriel Kyungwa Kumwanza, the provincial coordinator of the platform for the change, platform for Together for Change, Ensemble pour le Changement, said that the political parties in this platform in the Greater Katanga are ready to participate in the December 23rd polls. He said, I confirm, we never stop saying the opposition must participate in the December 23 elections, and whatever it costs, we will go for the election. And that's what I'm preaching here to the people of the Kamina, without, and we want to do to the election without, we want to go to the election without the voting machine, he insisted. In the event that the Ceni, or Independent National Electoral Commission, maintained the voting machine, Gabriel Kyungwa Kumwanza started without further details that we will know what we are going to do whenever this will happen. If the government will put the voting machine there to be present during our election day, then we will decide what to do. We know exactly what we are going to do. The National Independent Electoral Commission, Ceni, has announced on Monday, 5th of November, the arrival of the technicians of the Southern African Development Community, SADC, to support the process of deployment of electoral materials. It was after discussions with a delegation from SADC Electoral Advisory Council about the process of the electoral process. These different explanations provided by Ceni office have satisfied the thirst, or have quenched, I would say, the expert of SADC. When they arrived, Ceni explained to them how the machines are going to be used, the voting machines. And Ceni was clear enough to the people of SADC by telling them that the expert from the UK found 15 problems with those machines. So far we have fixed 13 of them. Only 2 remains. And those 2 we keep them because they are very important to facilitate, to help the electoral process. So what are those 2 issues? One of them is the use of the Wi-Fi or of the internet on the day of the election. Experts from the UK said, if you Congolese people use the internet on that day, there is possibility of manipulating the information. Secondly, the people of Ceni want to keep what we call flash ports, because they believe that in case one of the machines will maybe break down, they can replace it with a new machine, and they can only remove the flash disk from the flash port, insert it in the new machines, and that will help them for not losing any information, because that's like a backup system. And SADC has said, yes, we are ready, we are happy with that information, that explanation, and we are going to support you to move forward for the elections. However, people continue to ask themselves, why is SADC accept to support these machines to encourage the Congolese people to go to the polls with these machines, while it's known that these machines are tricked? Therefore, some people are like, keeping some type of distance between them and the decision of SADC. However, the people of SADC also have confirmed that by using the voting machine, it will be quicker, it will be faster than using, the vote that we used to do. Is our old style of using a paper and a pen in order to vote. So they say that, okay, the manual vote so far is easier because it's easy to find a candidate. No, the manual vote is harder because it's not easy to find the candidates that you want to vote. And you have after that, go to the ballot and put the, you know, your bulletin into the ballot, which will take time. But with the voting machine, things can move forward quicker, and people can see that in less than 2 minutes, you can vote for 3 different people, meaning that you can complete your presidential vote. You can also complete your legislative vote without any complication. SADC has also promised to send a strong team of observers by December 12th to come to work in the Congo in other provinces to support Ceni. And if necessary, they will also provide their technical advice, technical assistance. Briefly, that is the news. But my point is to comment now on what is going to happen. And my comments will focus on our elections. It remains only 46 days before the Congolese people go to the polls. Now we can see the SADC or SADC. They are there. We can see on the other side, the people of the opposition, the 7 leaders of the opposition, you know, the big opposition of the Congo, they are now actually in Switzerland. They are meeting in Geneva this morning, where they are going to choose a common candidate for the opposition. And on the other side, this effervescence, this, you know, tension of election starts to appear slowly in streets around Kinshasa. My comment now will follow, and my comment will be as following. SADC, as well as other branches, other NGOs, other institutions, other international communities, which wanted to come and assist Congo to organize these elections, were banned, were stopped by Ceni. Ceni said to them, we don't need your help. We are going to organize our elections ourselves, because this is the sovereignty of our country, so we have to defend it. SADC came at one stage and their offer was rejected. They were asked to leave the country. MONUSCO, who is present in the Congo actually, has been also proposing to support this election process with its logistic. But the help from MONUSCO is not so far accepted. Now, what makes this change to see the Congolese government, which was rejecting so far the help, the support of other organizations, what makes them to start to accept it? Or again, why was the SADC, which was rejected that last time, they are coming back and start to accept and collaborate with Ceni in order to support the electoral process in the Congo? Something is hidden behind this process. And what's hidden? The people of SADC, they have all interest to come and support the Congolese government for this election, to accept also this voting machine to be a part of the process, because if they don't accept it, then things will not work well between them and the country. Although SADC knows very well, these machines were made to purport the election process, the electoral process, but they have to accept it in order to keep their good relationship with the government, the illegal government of the Congo, the present illegal government of the Congo. And why do they want to keep that relationship? Because this government of the Congo have signed a contract of billions of dollars with SADC. And that contract is about to purchase the power from Inga 3 project. And SADC is the customer number 1 who will purchase. He will have the monopoly to buy the power from Inga 3 project and will resell it to their consumers. So it's a money business. It's all about cash. It's all about billions that they are going to win. But that does not mean that SADC, possibly because they love Congolese, they are also maybe there in order to support our nation, to support our people. But how are they going to support our nation, our people, while we, the voters, we are rejecting that machine, but them, they are accepting and saying, yeah, this machine is good, we can go to the election with this machine and will support the electoral process with it. Secondly, it's not only about the machine. We, the opposition, we people of the Congo, we voters, we have asked the government of the Congo to review cases of those who are holders of the electoral ID cards and they did not record their fingerprints. So those cases still are there. They are fictitious. You know, fictitious voters are there. And SADC knows very well. For those who don't know, SADC is, you know, it's a group of countries. Among them there is Tanzania, Congo, Namibia, Madagascar, and so on. So they know very well that the Congolese people have been saying no to the election, not only because the voting machine is corrupt, but also a number of Congolese people were given those voting IDs while they don't deserve them. Among them are soldiers, policemen, minor children under 17. We are, of course, also many other people who were crossing borders from neighbor countries who were invited to come, and they are holders of those IDs. And their number is around 10 million. So 10 million people, fictitious voters are there, they are coming to vote. And SADC is well informed about this situation. But here, because of the interest, because of what they see they are going to win or to gain, they pretend that they have never heard about this. They are just encouraging the people of the Congo, we will support you for the election, go to the election, and they minimize this case of fictitious voters. This is on one side. On the other side, we found again SADC, which has been organizing all those meetings that the leaders of the opposition have been doing, the seven leaders of major political parties in the Congo have been organizing meetings, and SADC is the main roots, is a main organizer of those meetings. As we are speaking now, members of SADC, they are now in Geneva to participate, to coordinate those meetings in order for the leaders of the opposition to choose who is going to represent them as a common candidate to the elections, the coming elections. Now, they know very well, people of SADC, they understand clearly, they clearly understand that those leaders of the opposition, they are ready to go to the elections without this voting machine. They are ready to go to the election, but they have insisted we don't want the voting machine. On one hand, now we see SADC supporting the government of the Congo to organize the elections with that machine. On the other hand, it's like, we are supporting the opposition to go to the election without that machine. Something is in darkness there. There's a gray field somewhere there. So SADC is trying to balance. If the government will win, then we don't have to lose our piece of cake. If the opposition will win, we have to be with the opposition so that we cannot lose our piece of cake. And this type of game, as I usually say, politics actually is not about, words or talkings. It's about money. How am I going to gain? How am I going to grab what they're holding? And how am I going to invest it for the future generation of my country, of my nation? That's the actual politic of the world. People around 60s, 50s, African continent, or people of Africa were complaining, wanted so much to have their independence. And the colonizers gave to them what we call a political independence. But they kept for themselves what we call the economic independence. And today there is a big war, as you know, with China, between China and many Western countries. Why? Because China is trying so hard to become the major colonizer of the economy of Africa. And other countries are like, no, we should never and ever let China to do so. And it's not only limited to China and, Western countries, but now here we see SADC is there. SADC also is fighting. How are we also going to benefit from this piece of meat that Congo has been playing with around? Because we are marking around with what we have. Other countries are also trying their best to become friends and also to grab maybe their seat or to grab a portion of it in order to satisfy their needs, their today needs, or their tomorrow needs. However, we'll continue by saying that, okay, people of Ceni told the people of SADC, okay, 15 recommendations were given to us by those experts from England. We are going only to use 2 of those 15. I mean, we have fixed the 13, but you're going to keep 2 of them. As I've just said, the Wi-Fi and also the flash port for the computers. Today's world, for those who know, the world today has been going through a lot because of the internet, because of the Wi-Fi. People can steal, they can even loot banks because of the internet connections only. Money can be transferred from one country to another one just in seconds because of the internet connections. Think now about the voting system. If banks can be looted because of the internet existence, why not, tricking the elections with the Wi-Fi? If today a flash disk can carry 1 terabyte of the information and they can transfer it from one computer to another one in a click, it can also be done in the Congo. Those experts, those technicians from SADC, they understand, they know all about that. But because they have to protect their own interest, so they take advantage of the weaknesses of the illegal government of the Congo, they take advantage of the weaknesses of the people of Ceni, they take advantage of the weaknesses of we people of the Congo to try their best to gain whatever they should gain. Let me maybe turn the page and talk a little bit also about another thing. We also see this, this gentleman, Ceni. Ceni Mujavita Noel is one of the presidential candidates in the Congo. And he asked the TVs or the Congolese people to organize a TV show, a public debate on TV with Ramazani Shadari, the candidate for Kabila. To be honest, Dr. Noel Ceni has spent maybe 3/4 of his life, or maybe half of his life, and maybe 1/3 of his life in developed countries. He did his PhD in France. He has been working in big banks around the world, and actually is working for the World Bank, I think, in a developed country. The candidate is a dauphin of Kabila, Emmanuel Shadari. He has got a degree from the University of Kinshasa, and after completing his degree there, he started to work in Congo, and by the time that FDL or Kabila, Laurent Désiré Kabila, came into Congo, that's when this gentleman was assigned a position in the government of the Congo. And since then he has started to work for the Congo, for the Congolese government, and started, to assist the country. At some stage, one stage he became one of the leaders. I mean, when I say leaders, he became a big man because he was the Minister of Interior Affairs or Internal Affairs Minister. And this gentleman, he has been working so far, has been close to Kabila, has been close to all politicians, has been close to the police force, army, and so on. All of us, we know about him. So Dr. Ceni now wanted to engage in this debate with Emmanuel Shadary, and the debate will be about the development of the DRC. And that development will focus on security of the Congolese people. It won't be a bad debate, but for me, what I think is this. First of all, Shadary won't accept it. He will never and ever allow that to happen. Secondly, we still have 46 days to go before the election, the polls. Even if the election will take place or not, we don't know. We are not sure. But within those 46 days, I think that Ceni should continue to do other things and not waste his time to discuss those issues or to debate with Shadary. Why am I saying that? Being the boss, the former boss of internal affairs, the police force, the security of the country was under his armpit, the armpit of Shadary. He was the boss of those people. He was the one who was coordinating that ministry. He was the one who was giving them missions to do. All the murders, assassinations, kidnapping, all the kidnappings, all the rapes, all the forced displacement and detentions, all of those things were planned or were once again reported to him. Do you really think that it's a good time to invite Shadary to come on TV and start to talk about those type of things? While we know that by 11 days before the elections, he will be invited to go to Europe. European Union has invited him to go there in order to start to open a case. If that case will be opened, then we should let the law do its job. And if it won't be opened, because Shadary knows a lot. Shadary was a boss of that Department of Internal Affairs. We have to wait one day in the future. We'll open the case back home, where Shadary will be a big witness to tell us exactly how Kabila worked, how FDL or Kabila Laurent or Kabila Joseph or Rwandan people or Burundian people or all foreigners who have been controlling the Congo, including Belgians, other French people and other nationalities, to know how they have been working, how they have been operating in our country. And Shadary can tell us a lot. I mean, for me, I consider Shadary to be a library of the atrocities which took place in the Congo. So we shouldn't rush him to start to talk about security of the Congo. No, let us wait for the right time so he can testify against those who were giving to him orders. And he can testify against those who were communicating with him and who were telling us stuff. Let him talk. Many things are written down, that is true, but not everything is written down. And Shadary knows most of the things which were not written down. He understands them clearly. He knows better than Dr. Noel Ceni and others. Because we can only read, but him, he knows what is not written that we do not know. For example, the tax havens, everything about corruptions, all the systematic corruptions, if you want, all the nepotism, everything that was done in the Congo, Shadary knows it better. So he's a good tool that we should secure in order to stand in front of the judge one day or very soon. When we look now in Swaziland actually, where Switzerland, not Swaziland, in Switzerland actually, in Geneva, where our leaders are. Today they will start that process of choosing who will be the common leader for the Congo. And that leader will be published soon. His name will be known. And we are going to do, during our reflection on Saturday, it will be 7 p.m. time of New York. We are going to discuss and talk, reflect, we are going to think together as Congolese people. What are we going to do with these new leaders that they are going to choose for us? If we are going to go to the elections, are we going to stand behind this leader? If we are not having the elections, because there are possibilities that a war will break down, everything will be, destroyed very soon. If the election won't be held, what is going to happen? Are we going to continue to support this leader? And this leader, is he the one who is going to organize how the Congolese people are going to stand and claim for their right according to Article 64 of the Constitution of the Congo? Or will it be time for all of us, to spray and to go back into our respective political parties and do our own things? However, this gentleman by the name Augustin Kabuya is a member of UDPS, political part of Tshisekedi Felix. For Augustin Kabuya, he believes that in order to choose the leader, the common leader of the opposition, people should look at the seniority. The length of time is that you have been in the opposition. And many people have disputed that idea, have spewed out that idea. They said that that is not a good criteria. Because a good candidate for the opposition should have some experience, should also be competent, should have that patriotism, should love the country and have also moral values. And when we talk about competency, we should think about studies. We should think about the experience that you have gained here and there while you're working. You should love your country, not being one of those who are corrupt, who can easily accept a few $1,000s, a few hundreds, or tens of thousands, and sacrifice the entire nation. And those people must have some moral values. I can give you the example of Chibala. Chibala is the present Prime Minister of the Congo. Mr. Chibala has been in the opposition for a very long time. But if you look the way that he has been governing our country, actually, I can tell you that many Congolese have got tears coming out from their eyes because of the way that Chibala has been leading the country. And for many people, they believe that if we look at, the length of time that someone has been in the opposition, some people even have suggested we should take Mokia. Because Mokia has been in the opposition for years, longer than all of them. Are we going to choose Mokia to represent us? We will see what is going to happen. But I have to remind you one thing. Even if we'll choose a leader who will represent those 7 platforms, that's not enough. We have to go to the election and come face to face with the voting machine. Machines that you have been rejecting. Finding a leader is one part, it's one big step, but you have now to go to the second step to say no to the voting machine. Regardless of SADC or SADC accepting, regardless of many NGOs around the world accepting, we Congolese, we have to stand and say no to that machine. That's the biggest challenge that we are going to face. Are we ready for that? And of course, as a leader who will be chosen, will have around him 7 programs. Why 7 programs? Because every group in this movement, whatever they are making today in Geneva, every single platform has got its own plan, own program to lead, or to lead their political parties. Now we reach a point where our people need a joint program. As Jean-Pierre Bemba, John Peter Bemba used to say, you should have a joint program before even choosing the leader. And once we study the joint program, once we have it and we understand how it functions, and everybody agrees on that program, then we can choose a leader who will apply that program. And of course, that program will be just, you know, as I say every time, it will be like a pieces of materials that the people will sew together of different colors, and it will give you a multicolor thing. Maybe I should say, it's like maybe this thing of mine here. You can see it with different colors. So the program will look at different colors here and there, but they all together will make one piece of material. And it won't be easy. When a group of political parties is thinking to do yellow, another one is thinking to do blue, another one is talking about red, and it won't be easy to coordinate. Some people have to lose, some people have to gain. Some people will accept to lose, some people should accept also to gain. And as we know, in our political groups, we have got some political parties which belongs that we are on top of the list, others are somewhere down there. Will they have the same piece of cake? Will their influence will be the same? You know the answer. So we have, with the population, we have to prepare ourselves to know that after this election, after they have chosen whoever they will choose, some people will come back to us and complain. Complaint will be there. Accept it or not, complaint will be there. How are we going to handle those complaints in order to keep ourselves as a joint team? Because once we separate ourselves, then we'll fail. So most of our leaders, political leaders, either on the presidential majority side or on the opposition side, some of them and most of them and many of them have got what you are calling political immaturity. They are not mature political. Excuse me for that, forgive me, I'm not insulting them. I'm not minimizing who they are. No, not at all. But the practices of some of them has proven so far some type of immaturity. They care more for their pocket, their own stomach, their own families. They forget to care about their nations. Therefore, some of them have been working with Kabila. Some of them actually have been even collaborating with PPRD, the political party of Kabila. Some of them have been engaging with FCC and Ceni behind the curtains. However, someone has just suggested, because Ramadhani Shadari is from the East, and the majority of voters in the Congo are people who speak Swahili or Kiswahili. So the Swahili phones, people who speak Swahili language, because their number is higher compared to the rest of the nation, compared to those group of people who speak Kikongo, Lingala, or Chiluba. Someone has suggested that because Shadari is a Swahili speaker, his origin is from the Swahili side, it will be wise to present a candidate who also comes, whose origin is also the Swahili area or Swahili region. Having such a candidate who speaks Swahili, who is a descendant of Swahili phone people, will make the voting to split into two. So Shadari and that person will divide their votes. Or voters will divide their votes between those two. And then the people of the western part of the Congo, they can choose now whoever they want, and that will make things to be balanced. Because if people don't choose someone from the eastern part of the Congo and they focus on whoever they like, Shadari may have the chance to have more than 30, 40, 50 or 60, even 90% of all people who speak Swahili to vote for him. And on top of that, those who from the West who will also accept to vote for him, who will be willing to vote for him, they will vote for him. And Shadari will win the election. And FCC will accomplish their plan to reign for 80 years, for 50 years, as I told you yesterday. So that was a proposition from someone. And who will pay for the price? It will be we, the population, we, the voters. Therefore, we have to wake up. We have to stand on our feet. We have to do something, to think twice. Good luck for the DRC. Good luck for us, the people of the Congo. Good luck for we people who are listening. Blessed those who have got ears because they can hear. It's up to us to decide. SADC can be there, Belgium can be there, France can be there, United States of America can be there, all the countries of SADC and whoever you want can be present, but they will do nothing. They have got their own interests in our country and to us to protect our interests. We should fight for our rights. And we should look ahead. We should open not only our ears, but also our minds and our hearts for the love of our country, for the love of our next generation, for the love of our future. May God bless the Congo. Congo will remain one. Congo will remain united. Congo will continue to be a country of ours, a country of our ancestors. With love, if we love each other, if we love each other, we Congolese, regardless of your province of origin, of the village, your village of origin, if we love each other, the true love, and we love our country, we'll unite and we'll fight for it. We'll stand together. And we are going to win this battle. To finish my program today, let me remind you that we love our reflection. And if this is your first time to watch our program, I will invite you to go to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and become one of ours. Share our messages, share my videos with whoever you want. Send them everywhere. Let others be informed. And why not to click on like so that our video also can be promoted on our YouTube channels and people can know about us. Our YouTube channel is called Leo NJO, which means today is the day. And from there, many other people will watch us, will follow us, will grab maybe at least one thing from whatever I've been saying. And that one part that they will grab will help. If whatever, if any part of the speech of mine, you find it important, you can even cut it, copy it, send it to people via WhatsApp or any other social media. You are free to do so. My messages, my preaching, my sermon, if you want, my speech is not copyrighted. So please spread it. Thank you very much for your time. May God bless the Congo, and I hope to talk to you again next time. For now, I will say this is Odon Bulamba and see you next time. Goodbye for now.